You are now watching Lifestyle segment on the Weekend Show. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning, Aisha B. It's always a pleasure having to do lifestyle with you.
Of course, of course.
How's your
Lovely.
week been?
Fine. So far, so good. I'm happy for the weekend. Yeah.
Actually.
So today we're going to be discussing the roles of community or the roles of women in community. And one important thing is that women are now seen as the strength of, like the backbone of communities. We're now also able to know that women have brought about more than just caregivers of the home. We're talking about social development, we're speaking about innovation, entrepreneurship, and even just catering even in the science and technological aspect of the things happening in Nigeria. And today we're going to be discussing that with a beautiful guest. She's here with us in the studio.
Today we have Dr. Lynn Bassi. She is the Special Assistant, Gender Issues and Women Advancement, HE Atiku Abubakar. Thank you so much for joining us on the lifestyle segment this morning.
Thank you for having me here, Lucy and Aisha.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
We're all women. It's exciting
Yeah.
to discuss, things that affect women. And of course, today is about the roles, how we're able to impact the community around us, whether it's education, whether it's leadership, whether it's entrepreneurship, which is what I'm diving into. Tell us about what you do in your community and how it affects your day-to-day life.
Okay. First off, thank you for having me here once again. It's always a pleasure to be on the weekend show. My everyday life is basic, what every woman's everyday life is. First and foremost, as women, we play multiple roles in the community. So we cannot have an ending list to the capacity the woman carries and how we put forth good things in the community. So a woman is seen beyond being a caregiver and a nurturer. A woman is also seen as an entrepreneur. A woman is seen as a homemaker. A woman is seen as one who can effectively settle disputes. The tones of it, as we progress, we begin to, highlight them and, talk more about it. But practically what I do on my everyday life is just focus on humans, because really that's where the impact is.
Yeah, I love that word, impact.
Yes, that's where the impact is. So you have cases where we have our different callings and different professions, right? So by profession, I'm a lecturer.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, yes, yes. Sociology department, University of Calabar. So on a daily lifestyle, I get to nurture my students, not just from the point of beginning to the point of certification, but also for moral values and for motivation as they go into the capital market.
That's so beautifully said.
I love from your introduction where you said that women, have endless capabilities.
Yeah.
You see a woman is a home builder, she's an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, she's basically a doctor catering for her
Yeah.
kids' needs. She is obviously an all-rounder.
Yeah.
And then having to tell us a lot more about yourself, balancing your lecturing job, balancing perhaps your home, you're actually even making impact to humanity, like you said. So what are the challenges of having to balance all of that? Because you see, there are a lot of expectations, especially when a girl child starts growing up. You have to care for your younger ones. So there are a lot of responsibilities that come on the girl child based on gender. And then when you grow up, you'll be like, okay, there are other roles that you have to play. You have to be this person, you still have to cook and feed and nurture and all of that. And yet, you still have demands to be successful. So it seems as though, if you're born as a girl child, you have a lot of expectations from society, and they have to fulfill all these roles. So what are the challenges, basically, that young women actually face with your experience as a lecturer and all?
Okay, so before I go straight into answering that question, I want you to understand that a woman is multi-strategic. A woman has capacity to multitask. So I'll answer your question by saying, if you see a lot of businesses that are thriving, even business owners and the list of the employers, you see that women are strong economic contributors to entrepreneurship. In the family structure, to answer your question now, where you say people always look up to the women, to the older sisters, to the females, to carry on, certain roles or delegation, many of them are entrepreneurial. Many of them are entrepreneurial. Many of them have put their hands in one or two earning businesses
true.
and
Yes.
investments that is making returns and sustaining them while trying to grow professional-wise and trying to raise their siblings. It's as easy as understanding how a woman calculates, how her statistics sums up, to always arrive at the target. I want to pay the school fees of my junior ones.
I like
and
how
she
you said
makes up,
target, because it's like
and
a goal. Women
exactly.
do that a lot.
So she tables all of these plans and she targets and hits them one after the other without distractions. Sometimes they say maybe marriage distracts women, but if you look right in deep, it actually does accentuate their capability because it puts
Exactly.
the woman who is naturally comfortable with challenging situations and makes her set those targets and cling on them.
Wow, women more strategic, like
Yeah.
you said.
I feel like you're just saying like my activities, how I feel. Sometimes, you have goals, and you seem to achieve them one after the other, even while you're doing other things. And I think this is my next question because I'm also a lecturer, but in
Okay.
the university. I started as a GA, graduate
Okay.
assistant, and we're progressing in the mass comm department.
Okay.
So when it comes to education and mentorship, we see young girls, as she said, starting to see challenges, but how can you encourage, or what will you encourage for them to begin with, to find that strength? Because I see a lot of young ladies in universities struggling with this multitasking, struggling with goals, struggling to keep up. What would you encourage them to do to gain, a clearer goal or process?
Okay, so this is not a one-cut-fits-all because we know that generations are changing, lifestyle are changing, and what I would advise may not be what the generation right now needs, but I think it's a gold mine. So a young girl, first and foremost, needs to know what she wants for herself.
Self-awareness.
That's the only way you can
You
actually
need to
perform your
know,
roles
yeah, you need to
properly
know
in the
what you want
community.
for yourself. And when you know what you want for yourself, you really need to be determined that come what may, I will get this that I want for myself. Of course, there'll be challenges. Young girls go through school, they face sexual harassment, they face some illegal financial responsibilities, they face some things that are very avoidable. So how will I advise them? Be a top-notch student. There is not one lecturer on the face of this earth that knows that this young girl is top-notch, highly cerebral, and will joke with you. Do you understand? So every young girl who faces this challenge and isn't remembering where they're going to, they easily fall back because they are not yet top-notch. You need to be top-notch. You need to be best in your class. You should be highly competitive on positive things.
It mustn't be the books.
It must
Now
be
you said
on
that, like,
positive things. Be highly competitive on positive things.
whether it's
Always
leadership.
always aim for the rooftop, and always aim to attain the rooftop legally.
Whether it's leadership, whether
Whether it's leadership, whether it's
business,
career, whether it's
it's
business,
creativity,
whatever it is, yeah.
mental.
And not everything that is a trend favors everyone at the same time. Most of the times, what should favor you is just a niche of where there is chaos, and your ability to ascertain and bring out a solution in there lies your own gold mine. So, following everyone on the train of, for example, like I talk to my students all the time, and sometimes I leave my course outline and I'm on morals, I'm on motivation. Because many of them are just distracted by TikTok. Monetization.
TikTok's a distraction, but it's making money. I don't
No,
know.
but if everyone is on TikTok, who does the other basics?
Exactly. When it comes to, there is a lot that delayed gratification that a lot of persons in this age don't have anymore. Want to have it like now, and then whatever there seem to be an opportunity to gain, even if it is not even substantial, instead of actually growing to gain what you want to gain in that future, like having to cultivate excellence to do that, you'd be like, okay, hence everyone is dancing on TikTok, perhaps I should just jump on the trend, and you'll be obviously leaving out perhaps the best thing that you could be working on, and give it 2-3 years, and then you would be everywhere. It would actually have impact. Because when you said that not everything, like putting on the rooftop, aiming for the rooftop when it is legal, something that is actually worthwhile. Like you said, on impact in humanity. I think if we obviously have these kind of things inculcated to young people, and you speaking about morals, and how do we, obviously, because this generation, even like if you see on TikTok, on social media, everywhere, it now seems like everyone is jumping on a trend, jumping on something, the fastest way of getting cash. How do we balance this lack of delayed gratification, actually putting out a goal and then giving it time to actually achieve this goal?
So I would like to say that women, mothers, sisters, aunties are understood to be people who can culturally and morally raise children. So now we have to go back to the first point of social contact, which is the family unit, to begin to, rebuild our moral standing. Delayed gratification is what is really, really important. But many people these days do not understand it. They do not know that there is time for everything. There's also a time where you need to really toil through things, thinking wise, processes. So when you eventually have it, you can hold it carefully. You know, some of them get into this. It's a creation that maybe a set of persons created. And today is TikTok, there's Lion Roar, there's stuff of gifts and all of that. Someone else created and everyone is here now. What are we going to have in the next decade to come? What are we going to have? So before you know what's happening, even the reading culture is gone. From the reading culture, we can actually teach our children morals, values, what to do and what not to do. We don't copy everything from the Western world. We don't forget our rich African cultures. We don't forget delayed gratification. We don't forget to appreciate our growth as it comes in process-wise, right? So everything that a woman does, it comes from the first point of social contact, the family. Before the child is being integrated into the society, religious-wise, school, and other associations.
I want to comment on that part where you said women and family. So I want to drop a bomb here. I believe it's a bomb. It's really, basically, are the women in this generation aware of their roles to play to make the community more desirable, as you said? Because this family thing you mentioned, so many women now are no longer interested, and everybody makes it seem like it's fine that, women don't want family anymore. They'd rather be a single mom these days or whatever it is. It's happening rapidly.
Just focus on me career.
So are the generation of this, are they aware of their roles as women, as you said now, which is part of family?
There's just a lot in what you've just spoken about, and it's no fault of either gender. It's no fault of the male gender. It's no fault of the female gender. It's just a lot happening in the family unit these days. And a lot of infiltration from the West as to how the family unit should be. So we in Africa are very quickly leaving our own culture and style, of the family unit. So, well, there's a lot in terms of financial burdens, because in situations where the economy is not balanced and the source of livelihood of that family comes from the man, if the woman has to step out as well to strike a balance, there will be a lacuna in raising the kids with what she knows best how to do.
That is
now,
correct.
Other aspects could be personal. Perhaps you have male partners that are not fully committed and bringing issues home, and then today you hear women as well saying, what you do, I will do.
Yes, that is.
They both have left the responsibility of raising the morally based home with kids, growing with good character and producing good results. And just like I said, it's multifaceted. It could also be religious-wise. It could also be, political-wise, in terms of the political system in the country with which, or in the states in which they reside. A lot of factors that affect home. These days you hear a lot of things about how women just want to be independent. Sometimes it's for the positive, right? Well, most times it's actually for the positive, because most women would not go into marriages and then just want to be however.
Yeah, and just be
First
there.
off, every woman psychologically understands her biological clock, and every woman wants to feel loved and have a home. But sometimes things happen and everyone loses track. And it's just, let's patch as we can. And the unit is not the unit as it should to build the moral background that we're expecting as Africans.
And then that is what is actually one of the problems now that we are facing in society, when we now have like absent parents that are no longer raising the next generation.
And that's also where, like you said, some women just want to be single mothers because they've given hope and they don't want to live that kind of life. They don't want, they just do not trust that that process of partnership or marriage or whatever actually works. Yeah.
But would you think that society also have a role to play? Because you see a woman being celebrated as perhaps you're a director of somewhere, you are in United Nations board, and then which are actually very good. But then it is very difficult to actually commend a woman that is obviously a home builder. Be like, okay, she raised her sons or her daughters or her family members, or like a lot of society, you don't see that as perhaps as important as maybe perhaps chasing a career. Although women are multifaceted, like you said, and some persons obviously leave the limelight for a period of time to actually concentrate on their homes. And you don't see a lot of that in the media space or in a society promoting that. You'd be like, perhaps you have a lot of potential and then you decide to dim your light in the marriage. So would you think society also have a role to play in actually impacting the next generation, be like, okay, there is value in actually being in the home?
Yeah, society does have a role to play. And I think I know a few organizations that have tried to buffer the situations for working mothers, create, what do you call it, kiddies corners at their office places, give them extended leave timing and stuff like that so they can accommodate their personal life and their work life. But also, society should play a major role in terms of just like what we do, talking about gender equity, talking about women participation, talk about these issues as it contributes to the home. So also we need encouragement too from the male gender, to understand that when they say, what does a woman bring to the table? She brings all of her to the table.
Of course, she's the table now.
Exactly. So to strike a balance in everything has to be like partnership, understanding, for the growth and the success of whatever agreement or situationship that it is. But then the society plays a role also politically when women are empowered in key positions without being sexualized and with all the support they can get to bring results. As a matter of fact, we all know that women, let's not even go there because we may have to have this again. Women deliver on every task given to them.
Yes.
Every task given to them. And most of the times, tasks that are given to them are tasks that are secondary. So the society isn't playing enough role, and this is why politically we're talking about women involvement and participation.
There are campaigns after campaigns about
women.
If we
say 35% affirmative agenda, if we say reserve seats for women, if we say all those things, they are not things that we should be fighting for, but at least there's progress.
Yes.
For now, what we're doing, we should keep at it because we need to grow beyond this level.
That's a fine place to live. We need to keep at it, and I'm also very much ready to occupy spaces.
Yes,
as a woman,
women empower society.
We are aware of our roles, and it's good that we have this conversation for those who are maybe not aware or shy to know that you are strong, and we are here together. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Dr. Lynn Bassi. I think that is the best way to live it. Keep watching The Weekend Show. We have more coming your way in other segments. Don't go anywhere.